got it? Okay. I hit record. Tracy hit got it. Oh my God. Welcome. Thank you so much. Welcome to the BBB Summit. I'm your host, Julie C. Butler, and I want to say huge thank you to Tracy Phillips for being a sponsor of the BBB Summit. Thank you, Tracy.
My distinct pleasure. And also, I think it's amazing that you allow sponsors, because those of us who have different types of offers, different things that we want to promote, you allow us to do that. So thank you for allowing me a space to talk about my Testamagicals.
I love it. I love it. And you know, the first time you told me about your Testamagicals is you had me at magical, honestly. And actually, yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, for those of you who don't know what a Testamagical is, Testamagicals are, we can talk about the root of the name in a minute. We will. What a Testamagical is, I have a service where we do 100% done for you remote video testimonials. So your students, your clients, your customers, wherever they are, we collect, we interview, we edit, and we produce your specific testimonials and deliver them, and you can use them everywhere. My clients, I mean, people are using them in places where I'm like, boom, mind blown. Okay, I wouldn't have thought of that, right? So that's what a Testamagical is.
And you know, like when we had our interview and you told me about your Testamagicals, it was so funny because I didn't even know that was a thing. I'm like, well, I kind of did, but not really. And I'm like, wow, this is so amazing. Like, right. I love that. So talk to us a little bit about why we want Testamagicals. And can we talk about the elephant in the room for a minute and what it sounds like?
Go ahead. It sounds like testes. I know, yeah. And I don't care because it's memorable. Listen, people, in the world of the online market, you want to be memorable. It's memorable. But the name of it, I'll give you the origin of the name, and then we'll talk about, you know, the importance of video testimonials, because you are someone who understands you need them. Mm-hmm. But, you know, like there are people out there who are like, meh, like, I don't like, it's too much work, or they don't even know. But the name, one of my clients actually named it. It was formerly named Amazing Video Testimonials. I know I'm really good at naming. And so I was trying to word smash things, and, you know, it was an open post on Facebook, and people were giving me, you know, I'm like, I'm doing this and I want to name it. And she was like, okay, as somebody who has actually experienced this, and she had hired me, I think we've done it now 3 times for her different offers. She was like, it has to be a Testamagical because it's a testimonial that is magical because it keeps making me money over and over and over again. And I'm like, Testamagical it is, trademark that, right? And so that's the origin of the name. There's nothing dirty to it, but it is memorable. And that's the thing. Sometimes conversations are simply started because, right, someone will say like, what is the name? Or I'll say the name to them. Sometimes people are being interviewed. And they're like, wait, what is this? What is this you do? Or can you tell me a little bit about this? I'm like, oh, it's a Testamagical. And they like burst out laughing. So, you know, it's a great like icebreaker, but it's also something necessary because, again, when we think about the online space, especially, I just interviewed someone who got a Testamagical from us last year. And she was talking about, she's a conversion copywriter. And she's like, when we are moving into a space where everything can be automated or done by a bot like AI, right? The importance of having video testimonials has never been more important, because you cannot AI a video testimonial. You can't. But, and again, people need something to trust. So what's happening because of the AI, and I was on a call yesterday with my funnel builder, and she kind of like did one of these because she said she was working with not one, but multiple people who wanted her to fake the testimonials on the sales pages. And I was like, is that a thing? And she's like, it's a thing, right? And that's a problem. And so now the weight of written testimonials is going way, way down, because anybody can AI that or make it up or grab a picture from the internet. So there's no longer the trust that was inherently there with written testimonials. Now, video testimonials have always outweighed any kind of written, because it's more believable. It's an actual human talking about their experience. Not all video testimonials are created equally. And I'm not like a huge, like, let's shove stats down people's throats, but they did a study, 9 out of 10 people believe what someone else says about your business more than what you say. And that's big. That's a big percentage. That's a profit mover, right? Because I can scream from the rooftops how awesome I am. You can scream from the rooftops and be like, she's the best. But if they hear someone else's experience, their positive experience, they've gotten the results, and you have a bunch of these. Here's an interesting factoid is, even if people don't watch the videos, but they see a bunch of videos on your page, they immediately trust you more. Simply
That
from
is so true.
yeah,
I
right.
know.
Because it's like an authority
Yes.
library. It's an authority library of like, oh, okay, if they have one and then there's like 7 of them, or, you know, like these little clips. And so what we do is it's 100% done for you, but we do something called a themes, threads, and transformations call. 30 minutes. That's where I find out about your audience. And we talk about like what you would want people to say, or what would the outcomes be, or what, you know, what is a game changer, or what are some objections you hear. And then in the interview, I get to know the person. And so it's done based on, it's a very informal conversation. I do it through Zoom because everybody's familiar with Zoom. User generated content is the best type of content. And so an objection I've only gotten from not actually clients, they don't care, but other people in marketing is like, yeah, but Zoom records small. Nobody cares. It looks much more real. Like, you know, I don't ever hop on with someone who has a background like this. They're in their kitchen, they're in their car, they're in their, it doesn't matter.
It's relatable.
Right? It's relatable, it's real. And so we want people to stick around, click around, like get to know you through the voices of people who have experienced the wins because of you. And so video testimonials, like the power of video testimonials, it is the most important sales and marketing asset you can have. But, and it's a big one, it's hard to get.
Well,
right?
like even getting a written testimonial
Correct.
is like pulling teeth.
It is, because, and here's the thing about video. People love you, they don't love video. So I have my dreamy, so right, like Test-O-Magical Dreamy, and people will hop on and they'll be like, oh my God, where have you been all my life? It's been on like, right, the to-do. They have a successful business. They have happy clients. They know that the power of the video testimonial, that's one person, right, where they know they need it, but like, who has the time to organize all of that? And then the other person is someone who has tried to collect them. I had someone, it was actually quite a big company. It was one of these accidental things. I'm like, where did you find me? And someone I had interviewed, this big company had asked her to drop a video. Hey, can you just drop a video testimonial about blah, blah, blah?
Right.
And so she's on this with me for someone else completely. And she's like, so this thing, I mean, they're asking me to do this and I'm absolutely not going to, but do you do this for other companies? I was like, absolutely. Right. Like this is, and so it was so interesting because they did hire me. What they provided me was a Google Drive with over 20 videos where they had tried to get, and they're like, any of those usable? And I'm like, nope, because you're feeding them lines. So I could hear, you know, I had the back and forth like, well, can you say this about it? And I'm like, no, that's not how it's done. So again, my documentary background, I have like 20 years of background, but interviewing from like kids to CEOs to the opinion leaders, to world leaders, right? Like there's a gift in interviewing someone where they feel comfortable and confident, and they want to talk about, but they don't want to just like drop a video.
I know.
Right.
I love it. Yeah. I think that's amazing. And honestly, like I know that it would change my business having those, right? And I think that, you know, I think before you told me about them, I knew what video testimonials were, but not really. And I wouldn't even know where to even begin to get one, right? Like I wouldn't know anything. And so I think that this is such an amazing service that you offer. I think
it's like, it makes my heart happy because I'm able to, you know, I have a team now who does the editing and that type of thing. I still do the interviews. At some point I will have to hire another Tracy, but this is what I love. I love to be able to help other people shine and get the spotlight, and video testimonials, like being able to kind of get to know somebody. A lot of these people are strangers to me, but I'm interviewing their folks. I hired a high-end coach because she hired me for, I didn't even know who she was. And then I'm talking to her people, right? And they're talking about what they've gotten, how far they've gotten. I'm like, I think I want that. right? And so think about, like, there are so many things. Like, I've done
I
it
know.
for dentists, I've done it for construction companies. Listen, if you are in a business where word of mouth, like realty, insurance, anything like online, and word of mouth is how people buy from you, think about being able to take that one word of mouth and show it to many. Right. So
Yes,
rather
I
than it
love
just
it.
being like one to one, it's one to many with one video. And I have one client, I re-interviewed her, and it was so funny because I was like, Mary, was it even called a Testamagical? Like then, like it was 3 years ago, right? And she's like, yeah, I think you had just started calling it the Testamagical. She's still using those clips 3 years later as ads, and she is rocking it. I mean, like it is, when we talk about like ROI and that type of thing, she's like, it's stupid silly because like I paid you once and I make money
Deserve.
multiple times.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then again, like she's able to track and say, like, okay, this one video, it was Grandma Diane, right? Grandma Diane
Mhm.
video quality was terrible, but her message was like so heart-wrenching,
Right.
right? That's the one. She's like, Grandma Diane, 3 to 1, all the rest of them, Grandma Diane's the reason people, and her membership numbers, I forget what it was, but they went up like crazy amounts. And she's like, it's got to be the videos because it's the only thing we changed. And she
Yeah.
put them on her sales page, and she puts them on her membership page, and she sends them to people who are interested. And so you can put them anywhere. And recently people have been hiring us to do recruitment videos, which I found
Ooh.
fascinating because hiring is getting harder, right? And so
Mhm. It's
how do
true.
you know a business is a good fit? Well, what if you get an insight into the employees that are already
Mhm.
there? And that's been really interesting because we've done a couple of those. I'm like, it's so smart. It's so smart. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And
Yeah.
so I think honestly that everybody should learn more about Tracy's Testamagicals.
I agree.
So I'm going to have the link in around.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where this video is going to be yet, but you'll be able to click on
Oh,
Tracy's video, our website for the Testamagicals, and check it out and put it on your to-do list when if you have your program or your whatever you have, and or in the future when you're
yeah.
going to have the programs. And I know myself, I want some Testamagicals.
Woohoo! I'm
Amazing.
in. Thank you.
I'm in. Plus, you're just a cool chick anyway. I just
Thank
want to hang out
you.
with you all the time.
Oh, shit.
Ah,
Thanks, Julie.
you're welcome. Thank you so much
Thank
again for
you.
being a sponsor. You're amazing. I appreciate you.
Remember, everybody buy VIP.
Yes, yes, because you had an amazing training
I
in the
do.
VIP. Yeah. Go check it out.
Go check it out.